Hi, I'm Pete, and welcome to Just a Few Acres Farm. The farm cleanup continues, and for the next couple days, we're pointing the cannon toward the house. When we first moved back here 25 years ago, this house was falling down, and 3 or 4 years ago, I did a series of videos that showed how we fixed it all up. And at the end of the videos, we had this pristine-looking house, really nice flower beds in the front. And then Hillary and I started farming, and we had zero time to take care of all those perennial beds and home maintenance stuff. We were too busy. This is what happens when you don't take care of these things. We haven't touched them this year. We got black raspberry bushes growing up in here. There's a type of lilac, I think it's called wine and roses, back in the corner. More blackberry bushes, some sumac. Oh, sumac grows everywhere if you don't take care of weeding it. There's hosta in here, starting to go to bloom. In the front here is a nice, what do you call those flowers? Anyway, walnut growing up. More brambles, black raspberry. The remains of an old perennial bed. And then over here, a mounded bed that I had it was nice at one time. And along the fence, more sumac. It's embarrassing. And I said to Hillary before we started this, I don't know if I want to show this because I'm going to get a lot of flack for it. But the fact is, you only have so much time in the day. My attention was completely focused that way, out toward the fields, for 10 to 15 years instead of this way. This stuff could always wait. This stuff had to be done right away. Hillary's gone for most of the day today, so I thought I'd focus on getting these raised beds cleaned up, which I can do from the machine mostly. Better to get this sumac out by the roots because it spreads that way. I've decided the best way to weed flower beds is with an excavator. Whewy. It's going to be another hot one, and it's been dry, and there's no rain in the forecast. I'm going to have to wait to seed these areas, I think, so I don't put so much stress on the well. Before we had the farm, growing cattle and chickens and such, I guess I was a yard farmer. I loved planting perennial beds and taking care of them, and I would spend most every weekend in the summer doing that, and then they got away from us. Tree frogs in August. Bunny. Bird bath. Pedestal. Birds gotta have a bath, you know. Get a drink when it's dry. Looks like I disturbed some ground bees. These ones look like little bumblebees and they're buzzing all around here. Milk can. Forgot that was in there. This goes with the farm. Been here longer than I have. All these pieces of pressure treated originally were the steps, the exterior steps down to our basement before there was an addition on our house. Pulled them out as a unit when I built the addition and took them all apart and made part of them into this planter, and then the rest of them, the smaller pieces, wound up as all the blocking that I use to support tractors while I've got them torn apart. It's day 2. Yesterday afternoon I took all the extra soil out of here from the raised bed, smoothed it out a bit. Now it's time to attack this. And Hillary's here to help today. Work will go fast. It's all hand work. I've done all I can with the excavator, pulling mostly black raspberry vines. Looks like a box elder tree. Underneath all this mess, going to the front door here, there's a stone walk that I laid when I built this raised bed, and we want to try and save that. I think this is cherry. It sprung up all on its own. I'm gonna have to dig it out. This walk was buried for so many years, I forgot how nice it looks. I need to buy some pea stone or little crushed stone, sweep it over it and fill in the cracks. Walnuts are pretty when you look straight up. See the way the leaves radiate out at the tips? We're taking a break before we start on this side because we're old.
True story. That's a big one.
It is a big clump. Luckily the fabric.
Holy cow.
It's shallow. Look at this sumac tuber. It's wound up.
Holy cow.
Yeah, that's how they spread, you know. The tuber runs along near the top of the ground and then sprouts another one up. Ha! I'll just throw these in a pile here. Sometimes the roots come and sometimes they don't. What is this? Oh no. The neighborhood kids were sniffing garlic powder again. It's a big problem. This is a basement window well. Basement window there. I'll show you when we get cleaned off. It's built of field stone. Our TV room's in the basement here of this addition. The old house ends back there. And I wanted a lot of light. I wanted it to not seem like a basement with those little teeny windows and then the metal, you know, vertical things that they put around them. So what I did is, of course, we got a lot of stone, so I stacked the stone in tiers working back like this, and then there's crushed stone behind it. And then here on the bottom is fabric with little stone in it so that the water perks in. And the weeds don't grow up in here too bad if we keep up with them. We're almost there. We just got this little piece here. Another window well. We made quite a mess. That's a load. Nobody seems to know. Oh, kind of cool.
Yeah, it is.
Bonus, trim the trees and get free, in a sense, heat. How long will this heat our house in the wintertime, Hal?
Probably a week and a half to 2 weeks, I would think.
That's good. These are all black walnut that we've been trimming, and I don't know if you can see that, whatever you want to call it, big wart where I cut a limb off that was dead. And then sometimes the bark on them will appear almost loose, like the tree shrunk within its bark. Yeah, it's hard to see. You can see how that bark up there is kind of wrinkled. It's not what it should be normally. And here's some pieces that we limbed off. See this thing here, which is really cool looking, but it's not normal. Here's another one. It almost looks like it rubbed against something, but it didn't. I don't know. Black walnuts have their pluses and minuses. They're the last to leaf out and the first to lose their leaves. They create a lot of trash, all the stems from the leaves and the walnuts every year. The wood is beautiful and highly prized, and they're tough. It's hard to kill them. They come back again and again when we cut them down in places that we don't want them. And even a tree that's suffering with disease just powers through it. It's had this disease ever since we moved back here. replace these brackets.
Not brackets for that.
We did. They just haven't put it on yet. Yep, you can see where the old line was. That piece doesn't go next.
No, it doesn't. I'll go the other one.
The birds need some water during this dry weather. The grand reveal. What a difference. Trees got their ears lowered. All the old perennial beds are gone. Still got to take care of that, but not today. Nice stone walk in the front. Lilies, whoops, I gotta trim the stems off. They've already bloomed. Irises. Hostas. Clean window wells. And two tired old folks. Was this an extreme makeover?
I think so.
Hillary watches some of that kind of stuff on TV.
Definitely a big change from what it was.
Yeah, I would say this is the rough going over. We still got to seed the lawn, fine grade the lawn, and it just seems like this kind of thing never ends, especially if you take care of things instead of letting them go for 5 or 10 or 15 years.
15 years, yeah.
Anyway, we hope you enjoyed this video. All right, and we'll see you next time. Oh, and this stair needs work. Never finished the railings. And around the corner here, a whole nother cleanup job. Maybe a future video.